Named selections are indirect local controls. They might have an influence on the generated mesh if patch-independent methods are used. Therefore, it is recommended to insert them before the first preview. As the name implies, named selections are used to assign a name to one or a group of entities. Those entities have to be of the same topological level, for example only faces or only bodies. There are several possibilities to create named selections. If we use a bidirectional CAD interface, we can create them directly in the CAD system by using the Named Selection Manager in the ANSYS menu. We can also create them directly in Design Modeler, where named selections are used for some complex modeling operations. The transfer of named selections from the upstream geometry is optional for each named selection, but active by default. Of course, it is also possible to create named selections in meshing. Like the local mesh controls, we can use the outline or the context menu in the viewport to insert a new named selection. We can use them while defining local mesh controls, which can save a lot of time. But the important part is the meaning for the solver. Boundary conditions can only be applied on named selections that exist before the solver is started. We have to make sure that those named selections that are transferred to the solver do not overlap, because the solver cannot handle such unclear definitions. When geometry parameters change, it is possible that named selections become invalid. We can use the worksheet to avoid this by specifying dependencies for size, type or location. The worksheet is activated automatically if Apply Geometry Items of Same is selected in the initial window. We can also access the worksheet later if Named Selections is active in the outline. By default, named selections are shown in red in the graphics window. To distinguish between multiple named selections, we can use the button Random Colors. As mentioned before, named selections are essentials to define boundary conditions in the CFD solvers. For CFX, the named selection is used as face group to specify an arbitrary boundary condition there. For Fluent, the correct type of boundary condition is automatically applied during export, depending on the name of the named selection. There are several keywords that Fluent knows. Usually, it is the same name that is used in the boundary condition drop-down menu in Fluent. The first word that is recognized is used as the type for the boundary condition. For example, a named selection that is called inlet is automatically assigned as velocity inlet. The type remains the same if it is called inlet wall, and it becomes a wall if it is called wall inlet. A name that is not recognized as keyword is automatically assigned as wall.